the media is a strategy, a viable strategy, by the way, to get individuals to turn themselves in. That is actually the best case scenario than identifying them and trying to track them down and serving an arrest warrant. So anyway, it's fucking incredible to me how I got armchair investigators in here trying to tell me how a case is supposed to be run. Incredible. Incredible. Never wrote a fucking affidavit in your life. Never arrested anybody in your life. Never worked with the FBI in your life. You don't even know what a fucking 302 is. Trying to tell me 33 hours is not good enough. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit, dude. If you're going to be critical of the right shit. Know what you're talking about. And that's the problem also with the internet, a lot of the times, is people have the anonymities to hide behind their keyboards and pretend that they're someone that they're not with no professional fucking experience. Meanwhile, you got someone here that's actually done this shit for real. Telling me what it is? Get the fuck out of here. This is one topic that I will never concede on. Okay, people can sit there and say, Myron, you're cocky, you're really arrogant when it comes to law enforcement. Yeah, you're damn right. You're damn fucking right. Before I left the agency, I was one of the best fucking agents in the fucking country, FYI. I had a nationally recognized case before I left the agency. The case that I got a fucking Department of Justice award, the Attorney General award, the case that I got. You know how hard that is to get? Given by the Attorney General? That's across all the different agencies. A case that I worked on literally got the Attorney General award. I got right here, the Director's award for a case that I did. So, I walk it like I talk it. This is one topic that I will immediately tell you to shut the fuck up on if you say some dumb shit. There is, actually, matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. There is no one on the internet right now, at this point, no one that gives law enforcement commentary that knows more than I do. And you could take that to the fucking bank. I've seen the pundits they bring on CNN. I've seen the pundits they bring on Fox. I've seen the pundits they bring on all these fucking news channels. These niggas worked bullshit fucking cases when they're at the FBI. They were in a JTTF somewhere. They were in a fucking white-collar crime squad, which, by the way, are the slowest fucking groups, by the way, FYI. They did counterintelligence. They don't do shit. Because I look into all these fucking pundits that they bring in. None of them do shit. Most FBI agents, to be honest with y'all, guys, might make one criminal arrest every 5 years. I've made 5 criminal arrests in a day.
Fatality.
Being on the Southwest border as an HSI agent, bro, you're making arrests every day, you're serving warrants every day, you're doing controlled deliveries, you're fucking responding to the port all the time. So yes, I will tell you to shut the fuck up when it comes to this topic. There is no pundit on the fucking internet that I've seen that has more knowledge on this shit. I've done Title III intercepts. Most FBI agents never do that in their career. One of the hardest affidavits to draft up. And sometimes I got to give you bitch-ass new niggas a reminder of what I used to do before I did this shit. The reason why I speak so confidently about this is because I know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to this. And I think a lot of you guys that watch my earlier content on Fed 1811, and you guys have seen me give my predictions and everything else like that, I've been pretty damn accurate. Right, on my predictions. So, yeah. When it comes to this shit, bro, yes, I will absolutely tell you to shut the fuck up. Some of you armchair retards.
Beautiful, powerful words. Charlie had just one wife.
A Title III is a wiretap. Listening to a phone or actively monitoring a telecommunication device real time. That's a Title III intercept.
What we got to see across this weekend is that there were so many people around the world, like she said, who were deeply moved by Charlie Kirk throughout their lives and, of course, have been deeply moved by this tragedy. And what she is describing there, that fire, a lot of us are feeling it. I am definitely feeling it. I had a very tough weekend, I will say this. My entire life, I've not been much of a crier. It is not my...
Someone said I got fired. Are you fucking stupid, bro? I resigned. I did not get fired. I resigned. Said this a million fucking times. Holy shit, man. This dude, some of these dudes in here are fucking stupid, bro. I can tell, look, I guess this is what happens when you get like new viewers that don't know the fucking, the background, which is why I guess we got so many retards in here. But yeah.
My choice emotion. I'm not a person who bursts into tears, and some people are like that. This weekend, I didn't just cry. I wept. I wept for Charlie. Obviously, I didn't make it through the tribute to him on Friday, and for those of you who wanted to see me in a moment of weakness, that was delivered to you. Fair. Yeah, I watched my friend get shot in the neck. Yeah, that's what happened. I just want to say that he was publicly executed again before the world. The question is why, right? You know, when you are in a state of grief, you go through a lot of emotions, and I'm arriving right now at a lot of anger. The audacity of some people. It has taken much restraint and prayer, and I had to speak with a priest. I had to go to confession. These emotions that I am having, wanting to respond with Charlie in his own words, really. People that are coming forward and saying this is what he thought and this is how he should be remembered. It just feels really inappropriate to me. I didn't know what to do other than to scroll through messages between me and Charlie, regarding which there are a ton of them. And I kept going back and watching the many videos of us dancing to the song Power. And it felt appropriate to reach out to Ye, speaking about things, talking about his mode when he wrote the song. You know, when you wrote the song Power, why did we have it as our hype song? Because the song is about the ability to find it within yourself to become what you know you are capable of becoming inside of a matrix, when you just realize everything is dishonest, that everything is performative, that people are dishonest, that they are going to try to stop you from being great. In fact, it's the end of the song, the question that he asks at the end of the song, that's the most important. Ye asks, do you have the power to let power go? Do you have the power to say no to power? You know, I told you guys that Charlie was going through a spiritual transformation at the end, and all of the usual suspects were really angry that I hinted towards that. What do you mean? You're not allowed to say that. They were attacking me, trying to make me fearful, to speak out and speak about the things that I know. I'm not feeling very fearful right now. I am, like I said, very angry. And I found, Charlie's favorite portion of the song. I'll show you the text between him and I, because this feels very relevant right now. This is, again, lyrics directly from the song Power, but I just needed time alone with my own thoughts, got treasures in my mind, but couldn't open up my own vault. My childlike creativity, purity, and honesty is honestly being crowded by these grown thoughts. Reality is catching up with me. Taking my inner child, I'm fighting for custody with these responsibilities that they entrusted me. And that's a moment where he is really speaking about how hard it is. Like when you're saying, no, this is what I believe. And they say, you're not allowed to believe that. You feel like you are fighting for custody of yourself. And I want to be very clear that I believe, in fact, I know that towards the end, Charlie was fighting for custody of himself. I want to say that. I want to say that plainly. And there are lies that are being told and they need to be slapped down right now. There's one person who's been out there acting like he is a widow, just saying the absolute most, tweeting first about what happened to Charlie, following it minute to minute, and doing hits in a foreign country, right? Like making time to do hits on Fox News, 2 of them. Bibi Netanyahu who's fighting, I think, like an 84 front war with everyone, made a lot of time for Charlie Kirk. You would have thought they were the best of friends, as close as him and Trump were. But I will say I don't recall Erica mentioning Bibi Netanyahu in her speech. The way he's presenting it is like he was this is just the worst loss for him, but I don't think that is the truth. In fact, I know for a fact that he is misrepresenting some things that happened there towards the end. So let's at first listen to what Bibi Netanyahu just one day, less than 24 hours after Charlie died, what Bibi Netanyahu had to say on Fox News. Take a listen.
We're just heartbroken. Myself, my wife, my family, my son, actually, on his 2019 visit to Israel, had lunch with him and his wife, Erica. we're shattered first as human beings because a great human being has been taken from us. Was an extraordinary friend. He wrote me a letter on May 2nd this year. He said, one of my greatest joys as a Christian is advocating for Israel and forming alliances to defend Judeo-Christian civilization. A few weeks before the tragedy yesterday, I called him and I spoke to him and I said, please come to Israel. I invited him to Israel. And sadly, that visit will not take place. But he was a defender of our common Judeo-Christian civilization. He was unbelievably excited to walk in the footsteps of Jesus here. He valued our bond, the bond between America and Israel. He did so many things to defend free speech. He had his truth. He stood up for it. But he said, you can come and debate me. He invited that debate. He certainly didn't invite the violence, the horrible violence that tried to silence him. And, this is a worldwide problem. The people on the extremes, the Islamists, the radical Islamists, and their union with the ultra-progressives, they often speak about human rights. They speak about free speech, but they use violence to try to take down their enemies, whether it's President Trump, who's been almost assassinated twice, or, they try to kill me here too. But they got Charlie Kirk, and it's just heartbreaking.
Who is they, BB? Who is they who got Charlie Kirk? We don't have to actually speak conspiracies.
Real quick, Barnum says, I'll D for the cause. No, Barnum, we need you alive. First time tipper from Naval Aviator. He thinks Patel is stupid. Fine. Okay, let's see here. Sirhan being point blank with a gun and a patsy confirmed by RFK is fucking insane and should be more well known. I imagine these covert ops not everyone knows, okay? Dark Knight Kevo, it's crazy how the chat questions your ability when you work on real-time cases for HSI and have the audacity to talk shit. Hella low IQ people in the chat, especially on YouTube. But more than an hour, cut it. Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm going to be getting off here very soon because it's about to be 8:30 and we got Money Monday. But, yeah, dude, stupidity like this makes me it's clear that we got some new viewers here that don't know the history, which I guess is good. But yeah, people are stupid, bro. And it's very obvious that they're just trying to troll. So I'm just ignoring them or getting them the fuck out the chat. Alboys, would you be open to going to Tyler's court dates if the case goes to trial? Yes, I will. Remember, what do you think about Obama and Biden not resigning the Smith-Munn Act, allowing media to lie and spread, making these crazy lefties? Interesting. Naval Aviator, proposal for NHH Bunny when them boys do some fuck shit. I'm trying to learn about being against Israel. You're anti-Hamas, anti-genocide, right? What's your stance on Hamas? Well, that's a long story, bro. You have to watch another episode, but I'm glad that you're here. Keep watching the content. I've done a whole bunch of stuff on this. Cash says Erica Kirk is getting backlash because they want us to be afraid. I agree. Obsidian says, Myron, what do you think about Discord coming out and saying that the shooter didn't plan anything on Discord, and then the FBI saying they planned and confessed to his group in Discord? Think that group can be held as a complicit? It depends, because from what the reporting I get is that he was basically joking around, kind of pseudo taking responsibility for it, saying, oh yeah, it was my doppelganger, shit like that. But as far as like explicitly using Discord to plan the attack, you can make the argument no. But there's definitely clues in there, or not clues, pieces of evidence in there that the feds are going to use and the police are going to use. Myron, what would you have done if someone were giving you this case, like protocols and questioning? There'd be a lot of shit I'd do. Too long to probably cover right now. Killer Kane says, you guys take the conspiracy levels to another point. There's no evidence suggesting international intelligence played any part. Y'all got to chill with that shit. Let the evidence come out. Look, I'm looking at all different things. I'm not going to rule out intelligence agencies because that's what they want. But yes, I do agree that, we got to wait for all the evidence to come out.
I'm just wondering, because you said a lot there, but it really sounded like it was about Bibi trying to establish a narrative that we saw reinforced by a lot of people that, Charlie kind of made it almost sound like he died for Israel. I mean, Trump's account even tweeted out a photo of Charlie and an American flag and also an Israeli flag, a bit of AI used, like this is just who Charlie was. He says Judeo-Christian values. He spoke to him 2 weeks ago. Again, you would think he was busy fighting this 97,000 front war, but no, he's letting you know that he just randomly picks up the phone and calls Charlie Kirk and invites him to Israel. Why would Bibi do that? It seems like maybe there's a little more to the story. No, there definitely is a little bit more to the story. First and foremost, that letter he is holding up, he is severely misrepresenting. Those sentences are real, but I am calling upon Bibi Netanyahu, the dear friend to Charlie Kirk, to publish the letter's entire contents. Like, don't start with just 2 sentences. Publish the entire thing. You're holding it. I'm saying you're severely misrepresenting the contents, that in May, Charlie was concerned about Israel and their influence on American politics and how they were pushing things that he felt were in conflict with his beliefs, free speech here in America. Bibi's holding it up like Charlie just in May said, hey, you know what? I just want to write a love letter to Israel. That's how it was presented. Would you guys agree? That's not how it happened. Now, regarding that phone call and that invite, that also needs to be contextualized. And I'm going to do that. But first, Skylar, can we bring in a clip of Charlie from a month ago speaking about the kind of pressure that he was under? Because I think that will also help to further contextualize this. Take a listen.
I'm an American citizen. Yes, I want
Yeah, this is when he was talking with Megyn Kelly.
Israel to win. Yes, I'm a Christian. But like some of the mess, and you've seen how I've been treated, Megyn, by some, not all, by some.
No, it's very irritating.
It's
been
almost
so
as if
unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Again, I just want to repeat for the 5th time. I love Israel. I want Israel to win. But my moral character is now being put into question, Megyn. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this.
Yeah, it's all or nothing with the Israel lobby, bro. It's literally all or nothing, dude. All or nothing with them.
And I could go. I mean, you saw it, Megyn. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages. And if I were to be charitable and generous, I will say the people that are attacking me are in a hyper paranoid state.
And just so you guys know, man, sale ends tonight. Use the code Jays did 9/11. Literally ends tonight. Okay. So get in there while you guys can. Join the OSS Army. Link is below.
Because they're at war, and war tends to make things black and white, and you're a hammer looking for a nail. So I'm trying to be charitable, Megyn. Literally, I'm trying to cut as much slack as I can, right? Like, okay, what would it be like if all of a sudden I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior similar to what my grandparents saw in 1930s Germany online? How would I behave? So that's like my charitable kind of overcompensation spirit. At the same time, I'm like, but it's not defensible to be dumb, right?
No, it's not defensible to be dumb, and he was under an increasing amount of pressure.
Quick word. Guys, we're going to be stepping it up with the OSS, but only for the guys that are the real active supporters. So this is how it's going to go. We're going to start giving away merch bundles once a month. All kinds of merch can be given away to you guys for supporting. Also, we're going to be doing call-in parts of the show where members of the OSS Army can go in and call into the show and give their takes on certain different types of topics, whatever we're talking about on that particular day. Also, we're going to start doing shows, guys, where we're going to do parts that are only OSS members so that we can actually say what we want to say, put the memes up on screen that we want to put up, and not have to worry about censorship. Unfortunately, even on regular platforms, we can still get clipped and put out of context and still be labeled for cancellation. All the uncensored stuff that we want to do, it's going to be on the OSS members portion only. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. Oh my God, Byron, no, I can't afford it. No problem. It's going to be only $1 to get in, guys, for the first month, and it goes to regular dues price. So get in there. And the code, guys, is Jays did 9/11. It's pinned, okay? It's pinned at the top of every chat. If you're watching on Kick, YouTube, Rumble, it's all there. So it's pinned. Get in. Close at midnight. We're going to be covering 9/11. We're in the middle of finishing up the documentary, The Empire Unmasked. Ryan Dawson's doing a re-release of the documentary early October. So, yeah. Get in now, guys. We're watching that documentary. I might watch it tonight, honestly. I might do a night train and watch it tonight with you guys.
Not just people.
And we'll finish up this, too, with Candace, because obviously, as you guys know, she was good friends with Charlie. So we might react to this tomorrow as well.
Telling him, oh, well, you know, I'm upset with who you're inviting, but flat out telling him that he was not allowed to invite certain people to his events. They were threatening to pull out money. Charlie was getting a lot of really nasty text messages, and many of them pertaining to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. But Tucker Carlson was really the focus when it came to America Fest. How could Charlie allow these debates about Israel to take place? How could he allow Dave Smith, who, by the way, is Jewish, how could how could Charlie allow this other position to meet the stage? Because obviously when people start to hear the...
Yeah, the Zionists don't want to debate, guys. They don't want to debate because they know that their position is a losing position. Guys, if the code isn't working for you, that means that you've tried to use a code before or you've used the code before and it won't work. That is why. So if you've used one of the codes before to get in for $1, it won't work a second time. So good job. You just exposed yourself.
The debates, what Dave Smith is saying sounds so rational, but it was up to Charlie to not allow those things to happen. And that amount of pressure towards the end, as you see that conversation he had with Meghan was just a month before he lost his life, really, I would say, reached a pinnacle of sorts on the matter of what Tucker Carlson actually said on that stage. Tucker Carlson, while he was on that stage at Turning Point, brought up Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman is a billionaire, obviously. He is also an extremely litigious billionaire.
And not only that, he pushes for people to get banned. I told you guys about Claudine Gay, what he did with her during the beginning of the Gaza riots at Harvard University last year. Bro really throws money behind getting people canceled and fucked up.
And Bill Ackman was on Charlie about comments that Tucker Carlson had made on that stage. Tucker Carlson specifically asked the question, where does Bill Ackman's money come from? You know, who is this guy? Actually, who is this guy that has this much influence?
Yeah, Ackman is the worst.
And like I said, Bill Ackman was not happy about this. And so I would like to contextualize Bibi. Again, these are things Bibi brought up publicly, which he didn't have to. He didn't have to bring up the letter. He didn't have to bring up the phone call, but he chose to do this less than 24 hours.
Destiny Mars, thank you for the support. I snuck my camera in and found this out. Apparently, Jay's first assassination was 33 AD. They be doing it. Skilliam joined. Welcome. George. Should have sent them boys to Madagascar. Facts. Jay Floyd. I'm late to the party, but Myron did see the Twin Pool talking about Destiny stating the conservatives should fear death for their beliefs. I did not see that clip. Costa 03. Myron, I just got off Piers Morgan latest segment on YouTube with Destiny, Andrew Wilson, and Anna Kasparian. It really shows a lot about Destiny. I have no doubt that if something terrible happened to you, you would celebrate it. That little guy is a POS. Would you really still want to engage? Or I'll take a look at it. Okay, Constant Order, showing support to us, Nick and Candace. That's cool. Appreciate that. Talk about humans like Yvai's life, but they call us Goyim. Yeah, facts. Absolute facts.
After Charlie Kirk was shot. Personally, Bibi, I would have appreciated if you guys used all of your spyware, you've been spying on us for years, to maybe track down the killer, but I guess this is where you thought it was.
Well, the news did come out saying that intelligence assets have helped out with the investigation.
Has to do a little
whatever the fuck that means.
Propaganda for Israel would be better than us helping us track down the killer. But anyway, so Bibi Netanyahu in that phone call, what took place.
Yes, the OSS code is Jews did 9/11, bro. Yes, base Chad. Literally one word. Jews did 9/11.
This was a couple of weeks ago before Charlie lost his life. Charlie was in the Hamptons and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman. because
why did they bury him so fast? You guys got to remember, man, in the Islamic faith, the Christian faith, and the Jewish faith, you know, burying a person promptly within 24 to 48 hours is you know, highly sought after in most of the Abrahamic religions. So that's why they move to bury him as quickly as possible.
Charlie's thoughts, Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset and threats were made. That is what I am told. And I will tell you that
some insider info right there.
I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one.
Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button. We got, what, 4,500 you guys watching. We only got 1,500 likes, bro. Come on, guys. I stayed on YouTube on for you guys longer because I knew the show was going to be shorter. So do your boy a solid. Smash the like button. Let's get to at least 2,000. Let's get at least 50% engagement. God damn. I'm on fucking YouTube. The worst app ever for you guys. Censoring myself. So smash that like button, guys. That's all I request.
One of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I got to tell you that. It felt like a threat, like not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't.
That's good, bro. I'm telling you guys, man, they really run conservative media, bro. They run conservative media, man.
How it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, you know, re-education camp. You know, we've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you.
And guys, just so you know, today's topic for Money Monday is how to build wealth with Trump's big, beautiful bill. We're going to have Steve from accounting on, and we're going to go over some of the things that you can utilize in this bill to really, you know, run it up. Because there's a lot of advantages in there for you, especially if you guys want to start a side business or anything else like that. So I'm going to get him on the Zoom call as well. And we're going to be taking Q&A for you guys. So it's going to be awesome.
You know, we just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah. We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo. We just need you to go to Israel and we can.
Yes, smash the like button, guys. That's all I request. I think we're at like, when I looked, 1,500 something. I am going to end soon here. So.
Make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened.
I wonder if he's going to respond. He's probably not gonna.
Because our sources and what we have, it's solid. Okay. There were conversations that took place.
I believe her. Bill Ackman is a fucking scumbag. He did try to get, when that whole, you know, mustache man thing came out, remember guys, a month ago? bro was on the internet sharing that clip, calling for us to be banned. So he absolutely uses his money and his influence and throws it around. That's a fact.
Place messages that were sent at that time, and they are solid. So I decided another person that was there, and I am not surprised this person was there. If you've been listening to my show, Seth Dillon, I was going to go out to Seth Dillon, and I decided to message him last night about this Hamptons meeting. And Seth Dillon, who is normally very quick with a response, has not yet been able to respond. I'll show you this text message chain. And I want to be clear, I am not someone who normally publicizes text messages. But my friend was shot in the neck. And I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite when it comes to the answers that I am demanding, okay? This is me out to Seth Dillon last night. I sent him Bill Ackman's tweets because, he tweeted, "I feel incredibly privileged to have spent a day and shared a meal with Charlie Kirk this summer. He was a giant of a man." I said, "Any comment on this one, Seth?" He didn't answer last night. This morning I said, "Need a comment ASAP, please." He didn't answer. Then I followed that up and I said, "Trying again here. You were present when Ackman lost his mind on
Sarah, welcome to the OSS.
Charlie, and when Bibi invited him to Israel and Charlie refused." Text messages immediately following this meeting are circulating. I find Ackman's statement, as though the meeting was somehow cordial, to be incredibly disturbing. Are you at all disturbed by that tweet? Do you feel, as I do, that this tweet significantly betrays the defined purpose and mood of his, and I presume your, final meeting with Charlie Kirk, ? He was unable to speak to me, but he did place some frantic calls to Turning Point USA. Yeah. You see, I went out to Seth, but I also went out to two other people who were at this meeting, and nobody is willing to go on record. They're all messaging each other, trying to figure out a coordinated response to say that, no, this was all quite cordial, but no one wants to go on record and describe it as cordial because they know someone's leaking, because someone's got a guilty conscience about what happened at the Hamptons. So I will again put it out there, Seth, Bill Ackman, and to the other individuals who I have not yet named, but who are going to be named later this week, who were at the Hamptons when Charlie was put under pressure, when Bibi Netanyahu called him and invited him to Israel, again, in a move that when it happened to me, and it wasn't Bibi Netanyahu, felt to me like a laced threat. I am inviting you guys, I will give you my platform, actually, to come clear matters up, to tell us what really happened. Because, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. He says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary and...
We're just waiting on Fresh, guys. Once Fresh gets in the studio, we'll start Fresh and Fit. So I'll rock with you guys until then. I guess in the meantime, guys, we're sitting at 1,900. Let's get to 2,000. Okay. I don't want to cut the YouTube stream if I don't need to. Smash that like button. We've been going now for what, 2 hours on YouTube? Yep. We're just about to be 2 hours here. So smash that like button.
Typically, when those steps start taking place,
shout out to Our Kinks with the gifted sub. Appreciate you.
You stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian.
Yeah, that's a fake term.
Again, it is mystifying why, Bibi was...
Why no long show today? Because we have Money Monday, bro.
Out there doing the absolute most to make sure that Charlie was basically remembered as, I would argue, like a Jew, has not been yet mentioned. I didn't hear that. Erica was very clear that Charlie was a Christian, and I believe Charlie obviously was very much a Christian, and that things are not being told truthfully. In fact, I will also call upon, since we're having fun, Turning Point USA to release the audio of what Charlie Kirk, because I was in communication with Charlie at this time, because I knew exactly which donors were pressuring him and why, exactly which people.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
That they were insisting Charlie allowed to speak at his event and why, when Charlie did not necessarily want those people to speak at his event. Okay. I'm calling upon Turning Point to release the footage of what Charlie said to Tucker Carlson before he hit the stage, before, you know, all of that craziness and the response to Tucker Carlson's remarks played out. Charlie was mic'd. Surely Tucker Carlson was mic'd. I know Charlie's mic'd the entire time at those events. So I'm asking for everyone to just release Charlie in his own words. I feel like that's pretty fair, right? Let's stop saying how Charlie felt. And instead, if you're going to hold up the letter, release it in its entirety. Okay? Why don't you release your messages, Bill? I'll release mine. Let's all just be very forthcoming about what took place. In fact, I'm calling upon Tucker Carlson to speak about that. I know what Charlie said to him, and I'm sure Tucker Carlson won't lie about it. What did Charlie say to you? Dave Smith, what did Charlie say to you? What was Charlie? Did he seem like he was treading in the direction? Like, do we feel like what BB is saying is honest, a representation of what Charlie was going through? This is what I want. I think that the thing that we need here, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Now, does all of this mean that Bibi Netanyahu and that this somehow proves that Israel was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? No, we have no evidence of that. We can't say that because there is no evidence of that. But I don't like little lies. That's what I will say. Something that I always say in my household is when there is one lie, there's 20.
SWF, appreciate you, bro.
There's no reason to lie. Bibi could have gone on Fox News and he could have told the truth. He could have said truthfully that Charlie Kirk has always loved Israel. He has always loved Israel as the Holy Land. He's been here many times. And throughout his career, he has been a faithful supporter of Israel. That's not what he said. Okay. He talks about the phone call and didn't give it the proper context. He held up the letter and didn't give it the proper context. And lies by severe omission, I'd like to...
All right, guys, we'll finish this up either later. Just start it up. That way I can redirect everybody. Yeah, guys, we're going to start the Money Monday here. Yo, Mo. Let me give you can you give Steve the Zoom link? Yeah. Steve from accounting? Just give me the Zoom link, text it to me in the chat. Yeah, make a Zoom link and then give me the Zoom link so I can get Steve on. All right, so we're going to start this thing up in a second, guys, here.
To be very clear, are lies. Lies by severe...
Okay. Iron says, Martin, when can we get Nick Fuentes on Fresh and Fit? Soon. Drewski and the K-Tube stream. They're ungrateful as fuck and just complain. Yeah, bro, it's annoying as fuck. Kaji says, Charlie Kirk favorite clip. Don't have time to play it right now. Castle 2479. It'd rather get interesting when it talks about the weapons used. OSS Bishop says, I keep hearing he was a giant of a man. Guess who else was a supposed giant of a man? Goliath. Is this a sick play of words? I don't know. I think you're reading into it a bit too much, bro. Do you think the Jays are going to go after Candace? They already have, bro. They already have.
Severe omission are lies. You're not going to gaslight us and tell us to shut up or call us anti-Semitic for pointing out the fact that Charlie was having a change of heart about the tactics that Israel was using in America, and that he felt when he had left that meeting that he had effectively been blackmailed. Again, my platform is yours, Seth Dillon. My platform is yours, Bill Ackman. So if you want to clarify it, we can do it in front of millions, okay? And I think that that's what people deserve, because everyone has PTSD.
Selmania with the gifted sub, thank you very much.
We watched Charlie get shot in the throat. That feels a little bit symbolic. It feels like they...
Yeah, Martin, this is off topic, but at your last college debate, that was a weak argument when you said white straight men built this country, so it's not the same as them having guns and T's having guns. It didn't refute any of his facts. The guy cooked me. All right, dude. You're a fucking retard, bro. Holy shit, man. Holy shit, bro.
Wanted us to know that his voice was problematic again.
Can't reason with stupid sometimes, bro. Can't reason with stupid.
And I don't know who they is. After we take this brief break, we're going to go through the investigation, which seems to have a lot of inconsistencies and holes in it. And
Stan says, Anus and Reach never talked about Charlie Kirk and tells you that they care about making money and gaining views. Yeah. I told you guys, Abba and Preach are pussies. People like him, guys, Moist Critical, Abba and Preach, and all these like reactionary channels, they watch the news, they see where people are leaning, and then they make a video based on what people say. And they go with whatever has the most support. That's what they do. That's literally what they do. So, yeah. Stan says, yeah, we got that one. Almost forgot to remind you, can you read the entropy chats you took pics of yesterday? I read them earlier. Literally, I read them at the top of the show. Hodge says, hey, Marion, I have a theory that the shooter's decoy. Do you really think the Israelis are still using sniper rifles for political assassinations? They have many ways to do it, bro. They have many ways to do it. Many ways to do it. And also, Adolf Chrysler, from what I can remember from that debate with that guy when it came to the T shooters or whatever, my argument is that they should not have the ability to have guns because despite them only being 1% of the population, they're wildly overrepresented in school shootings. Okay? And I made the argument that they have mental illness. So to compare straight white men to T men, right, and saying, oh, well, they're the same because both of them do school shootings, well, you're discounting the fact that the T's are a small minority of the population, but they've conducted a ridiculous amount of school shootings. Adolf Chrysler, whatever the fuck your name is. So that's my problem. They are wildly overrepresented in a heinous crime. So you cannot compare the two because it's apples to oranges. He tried to say, well, white men commit a bunch of crime as well when it comes to school shootings. And my argument is, well, they're the majority. So of course they're going to have more instances, but if we're going to go ahead and go from a perspective of who's more represented based on their population percentage, the T's have far more representation despite being a fraction, minute fraction of the population. That was my argument. Okay? So, Chrysler, you're a fucking retard. You are literally stupid. Absolutely fucking stupid. This is a big reason why, when I'm critical of black crime, I say that a ridiculous amount of violent crime is conducted by African-American males, despite the fact that they're only 6% of the population. So per capita fucking matters, retard. You can't sit there and be like, oh, well, technically, most school shooters are white dudes. So why are we holding white dudes to the same standard? Well, they're also the majority. They also built up society. So it's not even a fair comparison. But with T's, my argument is they're less than 1% of the population. I would argue that they're sick in the head because they can't even identify what gender they are, right? You can literally make an argument for that. And then this year alone, there's been multiple mass shootings conducted by them. And they're 1% of the population. I can think of 3 off the top of my head just in the last year alone. So that was my argument. You fucking idiot. Holy shit, you're stupid, dude. I'm embarrassed that you're in the OSS and you're that stupid. This nigga's talking, you're in the OSS and you're that dumb. Holy shit, bro. Damn, you're an idiot. Incredible. In-fucking-credible. In-fucking-credible, bro. What a fucking idiot, dude. Holy. CT Ghost says, Candace is so right about little less, little lies are more, far more telling than a person. Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Come on over to Fresh and Fit. We're going to be live on Rumble and on YouTube covering building wealth with the big, beautiful Bill. Don't be an idiot like this Krensler guy. Okay? That is my cautionary tale. Don't be like him. He's a fucking retard, clearly, as you guys can see. Yeah. Anyway, guys. I'm going to end the stream right now. We just need to get Steve into the fucking Zoom call. All right, ninjas. I'll catch you guys. I might do a night train tonight, depending on how late we finish and time and everything else like that. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys. Come on over to Fresh and Fit. Okay? Let me pull it up real quick. You can watch on YouTube, Rumble, or Kick. Stream is live right now.